Welcome to another meeting of TV Holics Anonymous. Welcome to another episode of TV Holics Anonymous. Another meeting, I mean. My name is Ruru, and I am a TV Holic.
My name is Mimi, and I'm a TV Holic.
So today we're doing Squid Games. We're doing season 1 of Squid Games. And I haven't watched it, and so I want Mimi to talk to me about it and try and convince me basically to watch it. And if you guys have any comments, let us know if you think there's anything she misses in this. Also, if you think that I'm being too obnoxious about it or whatever. It's just because I feel like I already know the premise of it and everything because it's everywhere, Squid Games, and that's why I don't really want to watch it because it's kind of like it seems like boring and monotonous, and I already kind of understand like the concept of it and like the conclusion really. So like, what's the point of watching? We're talking about season 1.
I'm going to talk about season 1 and 2 in general because like it's all part of the same kind of. I don't know. Do you want me to just
season 1? Okay, I only know roughly what happens in season 1, so that's why I'm saying. So I know there's red light, green light. Like that seems like such a stupid game, and I know they're getting shot and killed if they move or anything like that. But it just
that's one episode. Basically, it's. Do you want to know everything about it?
Yeah, just sum it up.
You're not going to watch it. The thing is, I don't generally. I was skeptic. I only watched it this year. Okay, and Squid Games came out like 3 years ago. So
yeah.
There's a reason why I didn't watch it as well. I generally don't like programs that are like, I feel like people are trapped and it's suffocating, like Lost
that's what
and things
I
like
feel
that.
like it's so trapped and suffocating situation.
It is, but it's how it's filmed and it's the dialogue. Specifically, like we know, like Korean.
Can you do the music now?
Sorry?
Can you do the music for it? Hum the music for it.
What? How are you doing now? Bleep, 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 bleep. Is that one?
Bleep, bleep, bleep. It's not quite scary, like to hear it in the background.
So basically, but when you hear that, if you started watching,
and you were saying about Korean,
it does give you like this visceral, like this kind of guttural response when you hear that. But it is the script, it's the dialogue, it's the relationships, it's everything. And Korean
TV is just so good.
But their dialogue, they're really smart with how they film things. So it's all for that, and that's what
and how they flesh out characters as well.
Because you can't compare Lost and things like that to.
You haven't even watched Lost. You haven't even watched Lost.
But seriously, if you watch this, and but like something like The Walking Dead, for example, like I eventually got into The Walking Dead, but I still don't like the whole trapped thing of like you can't change the scenario.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I'd never watch because like they're just zombies. Like there's no evolution. And apparently, and every episode someone probably dies or close to death, and the zombies are like dead, so you can't. It's not like vampires that you can communicate with them. These are like brainless dummies.
But my point is, it's a trapped scenario where you can't change the outcome of anything. Now, with Squid Games, there is a kind of dangling hope. Okay, they do dangle some sort of cherry of hope that things will change.
Why are they all participating? Because they all got given a chance to
the longer it goes on, the more you feel like, is this ever going to change? Like, when is it going to happen? And you do. So cutting straight to the end and season 2.
Aren't they like all stressed out every time a person dies? Like, aren't they like, well, that was my friend?
That's the whole
point. Why do they continue?
But the concept of it is that this is what what people are like. Like the director's like, people are selfish. They all have their reasons. So it's all about people that are in the worst situations that they can be in. They're all struggling. All the people that go into the game are in their like lowest times in their lives, but they're in debt, they don't have relationships with their kids, they are struggling and whatever. So they basically, it's like I either top myself or I play this game and I might win some money. And
but I know that they were given opportunity to like leave. And why didn't they leave? Like, and they all came back.
That's part of it. That's how you see like the humanity of. You see, like, there are other people that want to leave, but even those people that want to leave, every game that they play, there are 6 games in total. Every game that they play, they are given an opportunity to leave. So the people that are controlling the game, in their minds, they're saying, we gave them plenty of opportunity. These guys are like low-life people that need to be wiped off the planet, like wiped off the face of the earth.
Oh, is that what the people behind the scenes are like? The people
that's what they convince themselves. They're like, humans are shitty people. right?
Oh, okay. I
We're
heard
giving
he's
them
dying.
chances.
The man who made the game was dying or
Yeah,
something like that. That's
we're
why he's
giving
doing
them a
it.
chance. We're giving
Is
them a
he evil?
chance. Yeah, so he's not evil. He explains himself at the end because basically he's part of the game. The guy that is that created it actually adds so they're all numbered, and he was number
Yeah.
one. He's an old man and he's got dementia.
Okay.
And the main guy, I don't know what his name is in real life, Hugh Gun something, I can't remember.
Is that
But
the actor
the
you're
main
talking
guy,
about?
you
The
know,
actor
the
thing?
main actor, you've seen him, right?
Yeah, and what's his
The main actor.
number?
His number is, ugh, I can't remember.
107 or something like that.
Or I can't remember. But anyway, the main guy, he actually becomes very close with the old man, and he's got dementia and he feels really bad. So he protects him for a lot of the game. But he ends up dying, the old man, because in one of the games they're pitted against each other and only one of them. So in a lot of the games, half of them can go because they put against each other. So whoever wins the game will just get shot straight away or die, or you have to
Oh,
kill the
yeah,
next
yeah.
person. And some of the games, so most of the games they kind of wipe out a large number of people.
So why would
But
he include himself in this
he
game?
was so I'll
He's
get to
going to
it.
die
So
like
he
that.
does include himself in the game, and he gets shot.
Yeah.
But at the end, the main guy ends up winning the whole thing and wins all the money.
Yeah.
And at the end, once he leaves, he gets so everyone gets this. There's like this thing of when
Yeah,
you leave,
yeah.
when you're outside of the game, they communicate through cards like under your in your letterbox or under your door, and
Oh,
he
so
got a
wait,
card.
they don't live there the whole time? They don't live there the whole
No, it's
time.
only
They
six
just
days they're there for. They're actually only there for 6 days because every day is a game, but it feels like forever, obviously, for us
no,
watching.
but hang on. They're there for 6 days, but everyone that came, how many people were there all together in the beginning?
I can't
Like
remember. Nothing specific.
100?
Over 100, yeah.
Okay, so but they stayed there from day one to day six, or they every day they came, a different day they came.
No, they're all there.
They stay their night there. They sleep
Yeah.
there as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't have any communication with. They can't get out. They're on an island. It's basically an island that's unknown,
Oh,
and they all taken in a cab, in a black cab. If you say yes to the game, they all given these cards. So they basically
people can
scout
go
out.
then.
There's this man in a suit who scouts
Yeah,
out um weak people
people,
in
desperate
society,
people.
desperate
Yeah,
people
okay.
in society, and he plays a game. It's a Korean game he plays them called Tabogi or something. I can't remember. And basically, you have to flip a card with another card. You put a card on the floor and you have to try and flip it by hitting the other card. If you don't hit it, if you don't flip it, he goes, "I'll give you £50 or something, or whatever, whatever the equivalent of their money is. I'll give you £50 for every time you flip it." And they're like, yeah, £50 or £100 or whatever
Yeah.
value is relevant for them. And so and then if they flip it, they get the money, and they're like, "Yeah, let's do it again. Let's do it again." It's like addiction behavior,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Gambling.
Yeah.
And he goes, "If you don't flip
And
it and
they've
I
got
win,
sweet
I get to
weapons
slap
as
you."
well.
And they go, "I get to slap you," right? If you don't win it, if you don't flip it. So there's these people, they show the scene where there's these desperate people that are like constantly being slapped. And then he's like, "Let me do it again." Slapped. Let me do it again. Like they're desperate. And
So
that
they're
already shows
conditioning
you that
them.
these
They're
people
conditioning them.
are crazy.
And he's conditioning them as well to go
Yeah.
to go
And
to
then he
sex.
goes, "By the way," at the end he
Grooming,
goes, and
grooming.
then he leaves. He goes, "By the way, if you're interested, here's my card. Call this number, because we have a whole bunch of other games you can play like this, but win lots more money." And so a whole bunch of them end up calling because they go back home and then they go back to their slum of like life, and they're like, "Fuck this, I'm gonna go get some more money and play this game. I want 200 or something." So then they all say yes. So the first time they go, they're all taken in it blindfolded, and then they're sedated in the car. So the smoke comes out. They're all, out of it, and they're driven by the pink suit people with their shaped
Yeah.
masks to this. They go on a dock. They go on a ferry. They travel to another island. They don't know where they are. And this island is underground, basically, within a mountain or something, that they've created
I
this
thought they were
whole
in a big warehouse
game.
thing. That's where they.
Yeah, it is
That's
a
what
warehouse,
they
but it's underground.
were.
And there's like different rooms for
More
different
scary.
games. And basically, they're told at the beginning that we're going to play 6 games, and for everyone who wins the game, you will be cut. If you don't win the first game, you're all going to be eliminated. And then we'll just whittle it down until the last game. So whoever wins the last game has obviously
But
got all
they're
the
not
money.
told
But they're
that
not
they get
told.
killed.
Yeah, no, they're not
Oh,
told.
that's horrific.
So that's why the first game so all these games are Korean games from childhood. So they're all
Okay.
fairly familiar, but there's a bigger version of it, obviously.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Squid Games is a game that kids play in the playground when they're young, in general. And that normally is the last game, the sixth
Okay.
game is the Squid Game,
Okay.
and which is in season 1 and is in season 2. But they
So
play a series of kids games. So they're like, you know, the red light, green light game, and they're like, yay! They go to the room, and it's like that girl, and it's like she sings a song, da 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 da, and then so every time the girl finishes singing, you have to, when she's
when it goes
singing,
like quick, there's a giant girl.
there's a line. You have to go to the giant girl. No, because they're familiar with this game, right? And they're all like, "Yay, we're going to play this game." So whoever gets to the end line to the girl passes. But the thing is, when you go to each game, you have to pass each round. While she's singing, she does like a short burst of singing. You have to run. But by this, if you're still moving and in sprint
You get
or
shot.
in movement, you get shot. But they don't know that. So
Yeah.
whoever's still moving, you are going to be eliminated, is what they say. And there's this kind
Yeah.
voice.
If the person gets shot, then what happens? Does everyone freak out?
Everyone's, yeah, and the blood splatters all over people's faces, and they're like,
But they stay still. But they stay still.
but some scream. So if they scream, they move, and
And they get shot
lots
as
of
well.
people, they all got shot, right? So a whole bunch of people in the first round got shot because out of accidentally reacting to the death of that person, that being shot. So after a while, after a few rounds, like people, like you could just see people shaking. They always see zooming in on people. The next round goes, it's like da 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 da, and then people get shot because there's snipers everywhere, and they all have detectors, they've got like red light detectors or whatever. So any movement, shot, shot, shot. So then there's the people in the first round that panicked and they started running out, tried to get to the exit, all got shot against the wall. Then a few
Oh
rounds
my god.
later, a few rounds later, the main guy is like, he's panicked. He falls on the floor. He's behind someone. Some people have the plan of there's the shaky because there's some old people there as well. There's some there's some shaky. So they're like, get behind me. Don't move. You'll be covered behind me. And they try and talk between and things like that. And so anyway, a whole bunch of them end up getting to the end. But it's that shock, right? So what just happened? They go back to their room where they sleep, the warehouse, and basically
Are they
everyone's
allowed
like
to
shocked,
leave?
and they're like, we got to get out of here, we got to get out of here. It's like we've just got to get out of here. So the people the guy on the speaker says, and all the soldiers come out with the pink mask and say, don't worry, we will let you, this is a democracy, we will let you leave if you want to, we're going to do a vote. But before we do the vote, they bring this pig, I don't even seen the piggy
No.
bank pot. There's a piggy bank pot that drops, a massive piggy bank pot, a pig, and they drop all the money. So for every eliminated contestant, they garner money, a certain amount. So
Oh my
they've got all
god.
this money, it just drops, all this money, and all the people, they were all like moping, and then they look at the money and they're like, they all stand up and they're like, wow, look how much money we've got, right? So that
Oh my
becomes the
god.
motivating
Dummy.
factor for
Dummy.
them. However, after that first game, everyone does end up leaving because there's more votes for leaving than going back in. So they all leave.
Does the main character want to leave or stay?
He wants to leave. He wants to leave.
Okay.
Everyone, most of the main characters that they've kind of picked up on want to leave. So then they
Okay.
leave, and then they end up coming. Basically,
Did the
those
old man
people
get
that
shot?
organize
Yeah.
the games start
Did
encouraging.
the old man get shot
No,
in this
he
one?
gets shot later
Okay.
on in the games. So
Okay.
anyway, so then in order to get them back, because look, the thing is, these games have been going on for many years prior to this. This is not a new thing, so which they find out. This has been going on for like 10, 15 years. There's
Oh my god.
previous winners and stuff like that. So they know what they're doing. So then they let the people live their life for a bit and let them live in misery again until they get desperate again. And so then they put
My
the
god,
card
they're
back in
so
again under their
evil.
door. They're like, oh, you basically, is anything any better? Give us a call if you need to. So a whole bunch of them obviously end up going back, including
Also, is the main guy very
the main
clever?
guy. No,
Is he very clever?
he's a
No.
low
Okay.
life.
Okay.
Basically, he's a low life, and he is. When you first see, he comes from a background where he's basically he had a wife and a kid, but he's like a shit dad. He hasn't amounted to anything. He's a gambler. He borrows money off his mom. His poor mom like cooks for him every day, and she's an old lady, and he takes all her money and goes gambles it with his friend, and that's his
Oh my
life.
god. Okay.
But through the 2 seasons, he obviously there's redemption for him. He
Okay.
So anyway, the episodes go on. There's one episode where they have to this crazy episode, one game where they have a honeycomb, and there's a shape in the honeycomb that they have to try and get out without cracking
Oh
it.
yeah. The shapes,
Yeah.
yeah. And the
That's a
umbrella's the
childhood game as
hardest, yeah.
well. The
Yeah,
umbrella
but the
one, yeah.
umbrella's
So basically,
yeah.
they're told first before, here are a bunch of shapes. Pick a shape that you would like to be in front of. Like, there are 4 shapes, and pick the shape that you would like to be in. And there are some people that what happens is there ends up being some sort of like. There's one guy who is in cahoots with the people on the outside. He's helping them. There's all these kind of weird relationships where, as the game goes on, in the first season, it's
Who are
kind
the
of
people on the outside? Oh, you mean
yeah,
one of the guards?
so in the first season, it's the guard. It's we don't know who anyone is, right? The
Guards.
snipers and the people
Yeah.
working for the game, and it's the guests, not the guests, the participants. Like I said, halfway through, the old man who actually started the whole thing, he dies,
Yeah.
but the main guy, he wins the game, and at the end, when he leaves,
Yeah.
he is sent another card through the door, and he's like, "What the hell? I thought this game had finished." He gets lured into a flat in the city in Seoul, and he goes up to the penthouse, and it's that old
Why
man
did he go?
lying
Oh,
down
that was
sleeping,
okay.
the old man in a bed like hooked up to a machine. And basically he explains that I started this game, and he was like, I thought you, and he was shocked because this was my friend that died in the game that I was playing with him. He was like,
Yeah.
you've been part of it, but obviously more dramatic than this. He's like, why
Yeah.
did you do this? Why did you do this? All these people got killed. And he was like, I told them they could leave whenever they wanted. We gave them that option. These people wanted to stay. And anyway, he actually does end up dying. And the thing is,
But I know that at the end he
the
gets on a flight or something.
game is being played for billionaires from around the world. So basically,
Well, it's like a
the
snuff game.
director.
It's
So
a
it's a
snuff
game
game.
that's being aired. It's a game
Yeah,
that's
it's a
being
snuff
aired
game.
to, huh?
It's like a snuff movie kind of thing where
Yeah.
everyone gets killed and they're
So
watching on the internet and
they're
paying.
watching. Yeah, they're watching it. They're
And
loving
bidding
this.
for people and
But
things like that.
towards the end, before the last 2 games, they're called the VIPs. The VIPs, they have masks, like animal masks on, and they're
Yeah.
invited to watch the last 2 games in person. So they fly over to Korea, and they come to the games, and they have their own VIP section. And these are low
That's
life
so messed
scums,
up.
obviously. But the director did say these VIPs in his mind were like the Elon Musks of the world. He basically said these are the people that control, that
Yeah,
have power,
I'm sure they do that, like
that have
all the
power.
Mark
Well,
Zuckerbergs
we
and all
don't know
that stuff.
how the extent of it, but he was like, in my mind,
Yeah,
this is what I envisaged.
sure.
He's like, there are people of power in the world, and citizens and people of the world end up suffering as a result of their power trips, basically.
That's exactly what happens in the world as it is
So,
anyway.
so anyway, in the meantime, the other stuff outside of Squid Games is there's this policeman who his brother went missing a few years ago, and when the
Part of the
main
game.
guy, he doesn't know. He said my brother went missing ages ago. That man, the main man, when he came out, the first round of the game, when he came out, he went straight to the police and he told the police, and that other police officer was there listening to everything, and he said, look, you've got to go find these games. These people are playing these games and people are dying. They're shooting people. You need to go find them. And the policemen are just like, you're an idiot. We've never heard about anything like this. And they obviously laughed him off. And he goes, there was this card. Like, I was given a card and I got taken there. I was sedated. I literally was knocked out and I ended up this place. And this is what happened. They didn't believe him, but this police officer was listening. He went back to his brother's flat where he went missing from, and he found the card. And he was like, this man's right. I need to go speak to him. So we went to go speak to him. But by that point, that main guy from the games already went back in, so he couldn't get in touch with him.
Oh.
But as he went in, he tracked him. So he basically tracked the car. He went all the way there, and he went to the games, and he's behind the scenes. So when the VIPs come and everything, he basically dons on. He ended up getting in a scuffle with one of the snipers and one of the people working there. Shot him. He put on the mask himself and the pink outfit and pretended to be participating. Obviously, it's really undercover. He has to make sure no one knows, because none of the people working there know each other's identities too. They have a day-to-day job that they live, and every year, once a year, they're called here to do these jobs, and no one knows who. No one's there to know each other's identity. They have their masks have a voice changer. Voice
But what did
changer
he
and
do with the
everything.
body? What did he do with the body of the man
He
who
put it in
shot?
the water, like he put it in the water or whatever. So anyway, no one knows that he's infiltrated. and he's just there because I need to find my brother as well. Like, I need to find out what these games are, and he's watching, so he's seeing all these people shooting people, and he's like, fuck, I need to come up with a plan of how to end this, but he's got no communication with anyone from the outside, so he's there to find his brother. Anyway, there's always, the main guy is always kind of hooded in a black mask with a black, he's called the game, like the leader, or called the
gameskeeper or something.
game, something like that. But anyway, he pops up now and
And
again, and if there's
do we know who he
any
is?
revolt within any revolt, or anyone knows each other's identity within the pink squad, he just shoots them straight away, right? He's like, you know the rules of the game, you're not meant to know each other, you're not meant to reveal yourself to any of the because one guy got pissed off with one of the participants and was like, he took his mask off and was like, look at my face, da da da, and he goes, you shouldn't have done that, and he just shot him straight away, right? So he's like, you're not meant to show your identity, you're not ever meant to take
he
your
did it in
mask
front
off.
of the policeman, yeah? He did it in front of the policeman, so the policeman's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
wary.
he saw it anyway. Yeah, he saw that anyway. Yeah, so the policeman's aware, but he can't show his face anyway because they don't have a number for him. He's not meant to be there. So anyway, that's happening. So that's the hope for us as the watcher. We're like, okay, this policeman's gonna find a way to stop this all.
What's
He's gonna
one
go
policeman
back
going to
home.
do with a bunch of crazies?
Yeah, he's gonna go back home, and then he's gonna find people, bring the policemen and whatever. Like, anyway, so the game goes on.
But how did he get there? How did he get there? If it was such a remote place?
He followed the. Basically, he. Sorry, I said
but
that.
It was an island. How did he get there? On a boat, on his own boat.
Oh yeah, he jumped
Where did
into
he
one
hide
of
the
the
boat?
cars. He jumped into one of the cars, I think.
In the boot or something.
Yeah, something like that, and he just made sure, like, I can't remember what it was. I can't remember the details. But anyway, he managed to get there. So at the end, and there's always different characters in these programs. Like, there was this Indian guy who was from India who's been living in Korea, and they kind of show his struggle, and like they show him talking to his wife and saying, I've got to, like, I'm in debt from my work and stuff, and I've got to sort this out, basically all these little things. Then they had that old man, obviously, and up until the end we don't know his identity, so we feel bad. He's got dementia, and they basically, some days, one day he woke up in the morning and he'd wet himself because he's got dementia and he didn't realize. So the main guy was like, felt bad, he put his jumper around him and stuff, and you start to see relationships forming and people kind of taking sides, and then it becomes this whole, like, the people who want to leave and the people who don't want to leave. And some nights they even basically gave them weapons. So no, what happens is they give them food, small amounts of food, and one time they only gave enough food for half the people. And in some cases, sometimes what they would do is they'd give food and they'd put a fork in it or a weapon. So at night, some nights they would kill each other just to reduce the amount. So that's how crazy it gets.
Okay,
and also, so they're like teams, and then they're like in the dark, and they have to hide under the bunks. They have to, like, try, and it gets really crazy.
So also, after every game, are they given the opportunity to go home?
Yeah, after every game.
After every single game, but they all choose to stay there.
They don't all. They don't. No, it's just 50-50. I mean, it's if you're over 50, right? So you could be 55 votes or however many there are, as long as the majority vote.
Everyone has to decide to leave or not to leave. Yeah, the majority has to decide to leave.
So if majority want to stay, even if it's 55 and 50, you have to stay.
So it's only one time they all went home. that's it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to. No, so it's just majority. So if 55 said they wanted to leave and 50 said that they didn't, then they all leave, right?
So you're telling me that after the first game, that was the only time they all went back, and then all the other times they couldn't go back because the vote was
no one. They all voted to stay. Yeah, they all voted, and even in the second. So basically, that he won the first.
What about
season.
The last round? How many people were left in the last round?
2.
Is that the dice game? There was a dice or something.
No, that was the Squid game. Basically, you have to try and get to the end ahead of the Squid. You have to get past each other, and they're given. You have to. There's only one person, so you have to just kill each other. You have to try and kill one another because there's only one winner. Because the only way out of any of these games is death. So then there was also one game.
No, but the Squid game is that there's a long pole, and then they have to walk across it, and then they just fall to their death. Is it that one?
No, that's the second season that you've seen.
Oh, okay.
So the original Squid Game was on a flat ground. Basically, the second season, the end Squid Game, the last game was a Sky Squid Game. So it was that's why it was high up. It's called Sky Squid Game. And the pole, I mean, basically, what happened was the last two people in the first season, the main guy ended up being in
What happened to the police officer?
participating in the
Wait,
game with
first.
one of his friends. So there was a relationship out of it. His mum, the main guy's mum, and when the main guy and his friend from childhood, they were from childhood and they ended up meeting each other in the Squid Games. And he was like, "What are you doing here?" They didn't know that there was death involved in the beginning. He was like, "What are you doing here?" He was like, "You've been so successful. Like, he's in a shit situation. He's a gambler. He's got no money." And he was like, "This is my friend from school. Like, last time I heard you were, living the life in
Blah blah
America.
blah.
You
Yeah.
made so much money. Your mum was saying that. She keeps talking about her to my mum how amazing you're doing. What are you doing here? Why would you be here? Do you need money?" And he was like, he's basically been hiding that he's in so much debt. And he's
Oh.
feeling all this guilt. And so he's gone in for this debt because he was close to committing suicide and stuff. And he was like, "This is my last chance," basically. But anyway, it ends up being that these two friends end up being in the last round together in the Squid Game, last game. So they have to try and kill each other. So it's like, there's no way out. Like, you can't leave this until someone wins. They thought that initially, when they went into that game, they thought that they could 50-50 it, but they didn't realize. And so the whole time they went in, they were like, "Let's just make sure we stay together. We can do this." But that guy started flipping, and he was one of the people that murdered someone just before the last game.
Okay.
He was like, "We've got to do this." And the main guy was like, "I can't do that." The main guy throughout the whole 2 seasons never killed anyone himself.
Okay.
He never did that. Whereas throughout the 2 seasons, there are people that have just gone at each other and killed each other. And his friend
Okay.
was like that. And he was like, "Look, there's still a chance at the end. Like, we
There was a
can still
girl
live
as well.
together."
I heard in the
Huh?
first season. She was at the end as well. How many people in the last game then?
Who was in the first season?
There was a girl in the last episode as well. Someone liked the girl, and she was at the last game. Someone liked this girl,
No.
and they had to kill
So
the
so the
girl.
second season gets crazier because you start to see
Okay, wait,
the
hang
out.
on, hang on. What happened to the policeman in the first season?
Oh yeah. So the policeman, basically, he ends up getting in a situation where he has to run away off the island because he's got found. So he
How did he
runs
get
away,
found?
and the pink people are chasing after him. I can't remember what it was. I think he okay, so this is the other thing. What they do is the people that they shoot that are still alive, they take them to another room and they get rid of their organs. They're doing organ
Okay, they cut
donating.
them open.
Yeah, they do
Oh,
organ donating. And I remember, I
oh,
think he
not
was in the
donating.
room.
You mean
There's a
black on the
doctor,
black market?
huh?
They're not
Black
donating them
market.
organs.
No,
They're
no, I
black
mean
market
black
organs.
market, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So the participants, and I think that's kind of the VIPs and the billionaire people, that's part of their thing. I don't know what it is.
yeah.
But anyway,
They're
I
harvesting
think there's
organs.
one of the contestants in the game is a doctor, and he's been told little sneaky things about what the next game is going to be. He was like, "Please," he basically gets little snippets of and little teasers of what the next game is going to be before all the other contestants get to know, because he's the donor. He's the one that is cutting open the bodies. So he has to come out of the game, cut the bodies open, get the organs out, and then do the black market thing, and then go back in the game. And they're like, "Okay, so for this job that you've done, we're going to tell you the next game is going to be the honeycomb game." And he's like, "So pick a good shape that's easy to cut out." So he's like, "Okay, I can survive the next round." So he's given the hope that, he's going to be fine. But they don't really care, right? Any chance they get, they'll just shoot him, whatever. But they just need him to do because they need someone that is not going
Yeah.
to
So
kill on that.
did
So
he
right
stay
to the
until the
last
end?
minute, then they'll shoot him, right? Because
Yeah.
he can't win the game and go back outside and tell the police and everything. So they're just using him, and he's so stupid that obviously he's like, "Yeah, this is my way to get the money right at the end." Anyway, the policeman, he ends up getting in that room and sees what they're doing, and he basically ends up shooting people because he's like, out of anger, he's like, "I can't let this happen." So he starts shooting people, and there's one guy that sees his face and knows, so he starts running away. They're chasing after him. He gets off the island, but he gets on a cliff. He's on the cliff, he turns around, the pink guys are 3 or 4 pink guys, but then the main guy comes, lead man, I think he's called the lead man or whatever. He comes in his black outfit, and the policeman's like, "Why are you doing this? Like, this is I'm not scared. Like, why? What are you doing all this for and stuff?" Anyway, he goes, "Show me who you are or whatever before you shoot me." Because he's holding the gun up like that, the black man. He takes his mask off. It ends up being his brother
Oh,
that
the
had
policeman's brother.
disappeared. The policeman brother that disappeared 4 years ago or whatever, 5 years ago. But the next thing he goes, then he holds his hand out. He's like, "Come with me." He was like, "Join me." and you'll be fine. Nothing will happen to you. I'm giving you a last chance. His name's Inyo. And he doesn't. Obviously, the police officer guy, the brother, he's a younger brother. And so he shoots him and he falls into the sea. So that's him.
God, that's horrific.
And that's the end of the season. And you're like, oh, for God's sake, all
Oh
the
my
hope and
God.
everything. And
That's what, I
and then
don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this. It's
yeah,
so
but that's
stressful.
what I mean. It's like if I'm saying it to you like this and you're getting like into it, trust me when you watch it.
I don't want to watch it. And season 2, we'll do another episode another time.
Okay. So anyway,
You think about it.
he shoots him, and then the main guy and the participant in the game, he ends up killing he ends up killing his friend ends up killing himself because he's basically battered and bruised. They have to fight each other, and the main guy's like, look, we don't have to kill each other. We will just tell them, we'll speak to these people and we'll tell them that we want to leave together. We can do it. And he basically just gets the knife that's next to him or whatever and just tops himself. So the main guy actually, he does win. And like I said, he gets past without harming anyone. However, he's got the guilt of blood money. And so when he comes out, he's given a gold card. So the next day he goes home, and he's given a box with his uniform, I think, and no, his number, what his number was in the game, and he's given a card, a bank card. So he goes to ATM and basically he's got all the money, and this is like billions of one or whatever it is, and he's like, oh my God. But they do like a time lapse where it's like 5 months later, 6 months later, a year later, he doesn't use any of the money. And that's when the old man gets in contact with him and sends him a card, meet me here. And he basically says, when he confronts me, he says, why haven't you used the money I gave you? You've earned it. And he's like, all those people died. I can't use that money. Like, for what? And that they have a little bit of back and forth. And the old man talks about how the reason why he got into it. And he was like, I had my own business. And basically I was bored and I wasn't getting much out of my life. Like I was
God, what
I
a
wasn't
horrific
like feeling much excitement out of my, like it was like some crazy stuff, like
mundane
sense of like, I'm bored from retirement kind of thing. And it also
let me be a
like this, huh?
I'm bored from retirement, so let me be a psychopath.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So that's it. And so he dies, and then the game is over, according to, and everything is over according to that guy.
He's getting on a plane or something, the main guy, and he's trying to get away from Korea or something. He gets on a plane. He's going off somewhere else. I see at the end. I've seen a clip.
I don't know if that's in season. Is that season 1?
Well, I haven't seen it, so you're going to have to be the one.
I can't remember if that's the end of season 1. I think that's the end of. I think that's the beginning of season 2. Oh no, it may be the end of season 1.
Okay.
But anyway, basically the game ends and then it's over. Huh?
Season 2's in the sky.
Season 2 is just that last game. Just the Squid Game, which is the 6th game. The whole thing is called the Squid Games, but the last game is the actual Squid Game that they participate.
But what is the real Squid Game that they play in Korea? What happens?
That last game is what they play. So it's like the shape of a squid, but they're different shapes, and you have to get into the first box. Like you have to be hopping. You can't be on both feet, and you have to try and get past the people.
It's like hopscotch. Like it's hopscotch on the ground.
Yeah, but it's kind of, yeah. I'm no expert in it, but because I'm like not dealing with
Who created this horrific show? To give people ideas, terrible idea.
It's the same with these things like Saw and stuff, but his thing is coming from like his theory, his idea is coming from like showing you how low. Like,
have you seen Saw? Any of the Saws? They have to saw off their hands to get out of the handcuffs.
Yeah, I saw like what first 2 or something. It's not my kind of thing. It's another entrapment thing that I just don't like.
Yeah, and you don't like horror as well.
No, I haven't really given it like much of a go. I don't think horror is my thing.
It's very stressful.
But I just don't like the trapping thing. That would really piss me off.
Yeah.
And when no one's listening to you, it's always like that person that's like, I'm seeing things and no one's listening, and they're like, it's okay.
But it's Squid Game season 3 on now, yeah?
No, it's
Or is it
finished. There's
releasing
only
soon?
2. The second season was in 2 parts, like Stranger
No,
Things.
but I've been hearing stuff about season 3
There's no.
coming.
There's
Let
no
me
season
just
3.
check
If there's a
that.
season 3, it will be a spin-off.
Squid Game season 3. Yeah, there is a season 3, the third and final season
Oh
of
no, no.
South
Okay,
Korean defending.
so
Um,
basically they put the sorry, I got
oh,
confused. The
okay, so
second
it's
season was
released.
split into 2 parts, 2 and 3. But it was meant to be one season, but it went on for too long, so the director decided to split it into 2.
Okay, so you've seen all of that as well.
Yeah, I've seen it all, yeah. The second
Okay.
season is the same game, but just split into 2 parts, 2 and 3. But it's just one game. It's just one thing.
Oh, so second season is just one game in the Squid Game.
No, there's just one competition. I mean, there's 6
Oh,
games
okay, one
again, but
competition.
as in
Okay,
like
okay.
there's no like Squid Games, the first competition and the second and the third. It's just 1 and 2. It's just the second one was split into 2 seasons.
Oh, okay, okay. I
Yeah.
understand. So we will talk about that next time, guys.
Yeah.
And I am really excited to tell you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel and all our other stuff as well. Our other social media, and subscribe to the podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast, like Spotify or Castbox or whatever. Bye, guys. Bye. Say
Bye.
bye.
Bye.